ladies and girls and boys and ladies, hello and welcome to part 2 of the weird, wild and wonderful promotional videos brought to you by moi, that's French for moi, and Otter-Barry books. And in part 2, this bit here, I'm going to be reading this poem here, The Big Things. And I'm going to be explaining to you at the very end how and why I wrote it and all that kind of stuff. Are you ready? Here we go. The Big Things. From Weird, Wild and Wonderful. The words are by, well, me. The illustrations, my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to tell you about this, haven't I? It's illustrated by Good Egg and illustrator extraordinaire Neil Layton. Here we go. The Big Things. Just in case. Hello? Yeah, I don't know how many windows. I don't know, 42? Yeah, can I call you back? I'm really sorry. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, bye. Yeah, and you. Yeah, bye. At the very end, there'll be an opportunity for you to, can we have a little bit of a practice? It involves the left one and the right one just coming in 90 degrees and just coming in a rhythmical pattern there. So at the very end, there's going to be a bit of this. I just thought to warn you in case you get a bit nervous about it or be a bit troubled by it. So there's going to be that, okay? Okay, here we go. So ladies and others, the big things. Early evening, I'm sitting in my favourite tree, gazing at the moon in the pale summer sky, just thinking about the big things, like time and infinity and the cosmos, and how our little misty marble of a planet keeps spinning around in that great murky soup that we call space. When Keith, my next door neighbour, peers over the fence and says, "What are you doing up there then?" And I say, "Well, Keith, I was thinking about the unstoppableness of time and the smallness of me and the whopping great bigness of space and things." And Keith says, "Oh, right." And I jump down from the tree, climb over the fence and say, "Keith, do you ever think about time and space and life and what it all means and stuff?" And Keith says, "Fancy a game of footy?" And I say, "Do you, Keith? And do you think about how the planets all turn together like the cogs of a massive cosmic clock?" And Keith says, "Look, you're playing footy, or what?" And I say, "No, seriously, Keith, do you think about it?" And Keith says, "I'll go in goal." And I say, "Whatever." Now, this is one of those poems that actually, and usually, didn't take very long to write. Most poems probably take about 3 months, and that's no exaggeration. They tend to look a bit like this, very, very messy. Hundreds of different versions which I scribble and scrooge away at, and most poems actually don't get finished. They just kind of get left and abandoned. So this was quite a quick one. It doesn't rhyme, as you can tell, and because of that, it's probably easier to write, and it feels like a memory, even though it's not. And I showed it to a friend, and he said, "Is this real then? Did this really happen?" I went, "No." And he said, "Well, why did you write it?" I went, "Well, because it just came into my head. I was doing a book of space poems with a friend, and I thought, oh, how about me as a child just looking up into the sky?" And I just got the phrase "early evening, I'm sitting," and it just came from there. And it didn't take too many tweaks. I probably worked on it for about a week or so. And at the very end, the original version, when Keith says, "I'll go in goal," I said, "Oh, all right then." But then I showed it to my wife, and she's a writer as well, and she said, "Oh no, not all right then, something a bit more punchiness." And I like punchiness, so I thought, and she said, "What about oh, whatever?" I went, "Oh yeah." So I changed it to "oh, whatever." I do show my poems to lots of people because I think it's really important to get some input from other people. Because when you're writing something, you know, everything can seem good or bad or whatever. And it sometimes takes other people to show you, you know, what's working and what needs a tweak. But there is no Keith. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to disturb you here, but there is no Keith. Well, there kind of is. It's my guitar, which I'm going to play in just a minute. But Keith's kind of like everyone I've ever met. I feel that this conversation is like most conversations I've ever had, in which I'm just going blah, 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 space, life, and everything. And people are going, what is he going on about now? So it kind of has what you might call an emotional truth. And it's probably one of my favourite poems because of that, because it feels like a situation which has happened lots of times. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the big things. Anyway, talking about Keith, here comes Keith. I'm just going to have a noodle and a doodle on my guitar. It's going to start off all kind of atmospheric and ambient, and then it's going to really rock down there. Now, if you want to know how to play air guitar, who am I to tell you? Oh, actually, I am the one to tell you. Well, one of millions, I'm sure, but on page 20 and 21, what a glorious illustration by Neil Layton there. There are instructions on how to play air guitar. It's called Learn How to Play Air Guitar in under 20 seconds or your money back. Bargain. And on the previous page, oh, yeah, look at that. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I thought you'd like it. Anyway, so I'm just going to play Keith and we're going to turn off and then I'll do video number 3. Thank you for listening and watching and observing other human types. Here we go. Right. Whoops. Are you ready? Let's go. See you in video number 3, humans. Goodbye.